Hey, movie lovers, I'm Adam.
And I'm Emily.
And this is Does It Hold Up? And here's our review for the newest Ghostbusters film, Frozen Empire. This is a story all about the new Ghostbusters, who we met back in 2021's Afterlife, played by Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, Carrie Coon, and Finn Wolfhard. Little family of Spanglers. And they have to fight a new big bad. I'm not going to pronounce his name because I don't honestly think I could. It's like Baraka. But I'm pretty sure that's a Mortal Kombat character.
I think it's Karaka.
Karaka?
I think so.
Yeah, could have fooled me because they never said his name well enough for me to understand what the hell they were saying. But they have to fight this new big bad who brings with him the chill. Ooh, it's all frozen. Frozen Empire. Get it? Funny. And the goal of this one is they have to find the Fire Master? Is he a Flame Master or a Fire Master? I don't remember what they called him.
Fire Master.
Fire Master, played by Kumail Nanjiani, and with his help, they're going to beat him? Okay, that is the weakest summary I could have gave for this movie, but that's because it's the weakest output that the movie could have gave me.
Yeah, it was not very clear on where it wanted to go, and it took way too long to get there. So by the time you actually got there, like, oh, there's like 20 minutes left in this movie. Okay.
So let's talk about some of the highlights of this movie. Paul Rudd, as usual, is just charming, effervescent, and we love him.
He can do no wrong, in my book, honestly. He makes this very boring character into someone I actually like seeing on my screen.
He plays Gary, who is the stepdad to the two kids, but I don't remember him and the mom ever getting married, so...
That happened in the gap.
In the gap of the movies, which this movie takes place 1 year after Afterlife.
Really? Only 1 year?
1 year. That's what they say at the beginning of the movie. 1 year ago, this family became the new Ghostbusters. Yep, 1 year.
Okay.
A bunch of stuff must have happened in that year because they've been out busting ghosts and doing all this stuff.
And they're at the firehouse again?
Yeah, they have the firehouse now. And the movie doesn't bother to tell you any of this. They just want to get right into absolutely nothing. But I'll hold off on that because we're talking about the things that worked in this movie. You had said after we left, your favorite part of the movie was?
The visual effects, but more so the character design. I thought even the big bad looked pretty cool. There was a couple of ghosts that we see throughout the movie that were really interestingly designed and shown throughout the movie.
Yeah, I disagree. I thought the character designs actually did work pretty well. The big bad, Baraka, or Karaka, or Kraken, or whatever his name was really good. He looked really interesting. The problem is the CGI didn't look that interesting. It kind of fell apart once you got close to him. I liked all the characters coming back. They returned everybody that was in Afterlife, and they brought back, obviously, the old guard as well. Bill Murray, Annie Potts, oh my gosh, I'm drawing his Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd all returned as their characters from the original two Ghostbusters films to help take down the big bad, because the new Ghostbusters aren't that good. So it was nice to see these characters return to the franchise. They were poorly used.
Very poorly used. They made this bad guy seem like it was going to be the worst of the worst, and so we need everyone's help, but then he kind of goes down in a bad way, like in a really sad way.
And Bill Murray gets to come in for what I think he's only in about 2 scenes. He gets the one scene where he puts a contraption on the Flame Master's head, Fire Master's head, and then he disappears again until the end of the movie.
He's literally brought in for the one line that was given away in the trailer.
Heads up. Tall, dark, and horny at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a joke that should have been left in the 80s. It's not a funny joke. It doesn't land very well. Nobody in our theater happened to laugh at that joke. 1, it was given away in the trailer, and 2, it's just not funny.
Yeah.
The only person that I really think they used extremely well, outside of Paul Rudd, because he can do no wrong in our eyes, is Ernie Hudson as Winston Zeddemore. Zeddemore, right? I'm pretty sure that's his last name. I thought they used him really well. He was always a secondary character in the original Ghostbusters movies, and I felt like he should probably be doing a whole lot more because he's fantastic. And they just always forgot about him. He was, for lack of a better term, the token black guy. Mm-hmm. He just was there to be there to fill a quota. This time they give him so much more to do. He's a much more developed character. He's actually been the one that's doing ghosting stuff for the last however long, and he's built a brand new Ghostbusters empire. There it is, again. And I thought they used him extremely well.
They made him a boss. It was so good to see. He's the whole, like, reason that they're able to be in the firehouse. He's been innovating in the ghost career, and out of all of them, he was the least one that I would expect to be that person, but I'm so glad that they made him that person.
Yeah. So then Phoebe Spangler, played by McKenna Grace, has to interact with a ghost girl who died at the age of 16 in a horrible house fire, but she looks perfectly normal. She might be the only ghost in the history of the Ghostbusters franchise that looks like a normal person. What did we think about this character?
I like
Melody.
the idea of the character. I don't like quite the execution. Like you said, it's weird that she was the only one who looked superhuman and never had anything else besides that humanity to her.
And little flames coming off of her. Ooh, flames. A lot of flames in this. A lot of flames.
Well, yeah, fire and ice.
Ooh.
They started with the Robert Frost poem there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fire and ice. I don't know. I liked her, the idea of her. I don't know if I like the execution.
Not that this is a huge spoiler, but the minute you meet this character, you know exactly where this character is going. Because a big fault of this movie, I mean, I'm pretty sure we talked about the only good things in this movie. A huge fault of this movie is there's nothing surprising, nothing unique, nothing interesting, nothing will really grab your attention and hold on to you for the entire movie and say, hey, make sure you watch this. Nope.
It's very paint by numbers, honestly. You know exactly where each character is going to go and what their purpose is in the story, and it's just kind of boring at times. It's a very long movie, even though I don't think it's actually that long.
It's under 2 hours, but it felt like 4.
It did, and it just felt repetitive and bleh. It focuses way too heavy on Phoebe's story. That was actually rather annoying.
Yeah, she gets benched because she's a minor, so she's not allowed to have a job, and she's a danger, and we just focus on her sitting in a park playing chess, because that's exactly what I want out of my Ghostbusters movie. Overall, this movie just wasn't directed well. It's a very weak script that even, heavyweights like Bill Murray and Paul Rudd and Carrie Coon could not bring this script to life. The dialogue is trashy. It is weak. There's nothing great about this movie. In fact, I'm going to throw out a controversial opinion here. Hot takes for days. Ghostbusters should die. This entire franchise should be buried under feet and feet and feet of ice and leave it there to rot. The first movie is spectacular. Great 80s movie. The sequel, not a great movie. In fact, it's a rather poor movie. The 2016 reboot wasn't as bad as everybody says, but obviously we know the controversy around that one. Afterlife was mediocre, and this one is just bad. Ghostbusters should have been a one and done and call it a day. It doesn't work anymore.
So you're rooting for the ghost. Is what I'm hearing for.
Frozen Empire, all the way, let's go. And introducing new characters like the Flame Master, Fire Master, was a weak attempt at bringing additional humor because they hired a very good comedian to play this role. But, oh my god, was it cringy the entire time. I needed earmuffs every time he tried to tell a joke.
They just weren't good jokes. None of his lines were good. I don't think he was directed well because we've seen him in other things and he is normally really funny. I'm normally a big fan of his. But this performance was just so cringy. And I don't know if that was the point.
I don't know. I don't think the movie knew the point of this character other than we have an ice demon, so we need a fire person. That was the extent that they got to when they were like, cut and print. This is beautiful. This is the best script ever. It's not. It's not a good movie. It's really not worth spending your money on. It had a very weak opening when compared to all other Ghostbusters movies. And I just don't... In Afterlife, I sort of cared about these characters. Mm-hmm. In this movie, I do not give a flying fuck about these characters.
Same. I could not agree more.
Do you recommend everybody see it in theaters?
No.
Do you recommend people see it at home?
Yes.
Oh, look, our dog. I don't think you should see it in theaters, so my recommendation is sit this one out. I think you can watch it at home, but wait like a year. Don't rush when it hits HBO Max or when it hits Netflix or wherever the hell Sony's going to sell it. Don't rush. It's not worth it. You're going to be more disappointed by the movie than anything else. So why put yourself through that at the end of the day? Go back and watch something better like Oppenheimer or The Marvels. This was a trash movie with a trash script and a trash director. Nothing about this was good.
I cannot believe you just told people to go watch The Marvels.
Yeah, I'd rather watch that than watch Frozen Empire again.
Wow. Wow.
What are you going to do? Listen, bad movies are bad movies. Some you can still get a lot of enjoyment out of, like The Marvels. It's a bad movie, but it's still somewhat enjoyable. This is a bad movie that I got no joy out of.
Same.
So why would I want other people to kind of experience that? So there you go. We both recommend that you completely skip this movie until you can eventually watch it at home in the comfort of your own living room in 2025, because it is not worth your time before then. Agreed?
Agreed.
Excellent. That's it for our review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the movie if you've already seen it. Are you going to check it out in theaters, or will you wait till it hits one of the 10,000 streaming services that we currently have? Don't know which one it's going to end up on, and I don't really care because I'm never going to watch it again. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back later with more movie news, reviews, and a weekly box office show every Tuesday. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that good stuff that YouTube loves so that the algorithm will show us a little bit of love. Thanks for watching up to this point, and we'll see you again next week. Until then, be good to yourself, be kind to others, and as always, keep watching movies.
Bye.